and I want to talk about what we have to think about as we get started. Look at that. You're coming alive there. You go ahead. All right, thank you. I want to talk more about business, and as I get into this, I'd like to bring up my partner. He's our Vice President of Sales, Jim Winkler. He's a proven builder. He's known throughout the world for his expertise in unfranchised business. Jim, would you come out here and join me? Mr. Jim Winkler, superhero.
Super.
All right.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
No, I'm glad you did all the dancing.
All right, come on, Ed. Here I am. All right. You're like a hurricane. Woo.
All right, that was mine. Dennis handled the dancing early so we could get into the business building. You're the best.
Hey, some of the things people ask us all the time is, hey, I'm coming into the business. What do I do?
We hear it all the time. Or I've been in the business a while, and what do I do to move faster?
Yes.
And, you know, it's one of those things. We have a system, right? Mm-hmm. It's called the unfranchised system, and we have a way of doing things. And we're hearing so many great things today. I mean, this has been the best first day ever. Yeah. And you look at what's coming, but let's make sure we put it into a way we can get up and rolling fast, right?
Absolutely, because one of the things is just getting started, and the other one is staying started, kind of thing. So let's get into this and talk a little bit about what we're actually doing here. And the journey begins with either you evaluating the business or you try some of our products. The products basically you like, you might want to start a business with those products. Or you see the business and you want to evaluate it further and you try some products. We move you into what we call a trial run that you're going to learn more about as we go on through the sessions. And the nice thing about it is we want you to make sure this is the right business and that you're right for us. And then ultimately, we're going to review and implement the Getting Started Guide.
Right. And, you know, when we talk about the Getting Started Guide, Dennis, you and I both approach it in a way not everyone does. We like to actually have guests go through the prospects, go through the Getting Started Guide, the first part of it, a lot of times before we even start them.
Absolutely. And, you know, I say this for a reason is that many of us wait because it's in the subscription kit.
Right.
And that's not really the way you should be doing this. You should already be engaged with the first or second parts of what's going on.
That's right. And you can buy a pack of these and have it for $7.50. The code is on there, $3.91, or you can download it. So either way, you should have it and be ready to go and be engaged. You know what that does? It stops someone from feeling surprised at anything we do when we start that registration time.
And I'll tell you this, over the years, there have been way too many people that have come to me and said, well, I didn't know we had to do this.
Right.
You know, so shame on that sponsor. Oh, wow. Anyway, going into this, it's exciting on this page too, because what this does is we know that an unfranchised owner is building in teams. And this represents the community. By providing the names and phone numbers of the people that they'll be associated with on their way up, as well as knowing who to contact at corporate when they need help, and being engaged with all of our different social media aspects for information becomes really important for them.
It really does. And, you know, I got to say, Martha and your team, I love you right back. Thank you for the great sign right there. You guys are the best.
Right.
So thank you for that. But as we move into this, developing your unfranchised business, you know, what's the first things that come up? We commit for a minimum of 8 to 12 months. Why? Because you can't really figure anything out in 1, 2, or 3 months. It's a 2 to 3 year plan. We need to at least give it 12 to get that foundation. Commit 8 to 15 hours per week to complete the tasks and activities. So we're giving it the time it needs, right, Dennis? You can do the business in less, but you can't do it correctly and fast the way you may want to. Then when you look at purchasing tickets to the next scheduled GMTSS event, that's what we do. Now imagine again, you're going through this with the guest or the new person starting, and you're really laying that foundation. Convert spending into earning by visiting our unfranchised.com to complete the shopping annuity assessment. You know, that's so vital for every new person to continue to accrue IBV. So we want to get that done right away, and also make sure that they're changing over their household. Listen to a minimum of 2 audios or videos each week. I know when I started, I had no background of any kind in this industry, and I just fed my mind as much as I could with audios. Now we have so much on YouTube as well, which is outstanding. And then you and I always talk, Dennis, and our team always talks about developing a minimum of 10 repeat preferred customers. And we're going to talk more about that even today.
Yes. So important.
Yeah, learn and practice the basic 5 fundamentals and implement the Master UFO Owner Program criteria, which again, we're going to talk more about.
And again, Jim, just looking at what we're going through as a list, you're setting up the prospect or the potential candidate to understand what's ahead.
That's right.
And that's important on that. Continuing this process, we're talking about what dates are important. What are the must-have dates in here? And ladies and gentlemen, this is where many of you go wrong because you don't take out the scheduling. The GMTSS, the Global Meeting Training Seminar System, I attribute to my long-term success because of the GMTSS. I'm telling you right now, it's going to help build leadership and it's going to help you grow so much faster. You've got to have your trainings in, your new on franchise owner trainings, your basic 5s. I know Jim and I, we were talking how when you were building this business and continue to do, what is your requirement for those trainings?
I wanted to get the NUOT and B5 done in the first 30 days. I wanted them to get that information as fast as possible. And the ECCT, I really love to have them doing that within the first 90 days because I want them to have that knowledge to go forward.
Absolutely. And many people that are sponsors are too easy on the candidates, telling them what they need to get done. And then you have your locals, districts, your regionals, and again, the upcoming international convention. The results producing activities, they are a must. Whenever you find yourself stalling, you have to go back and question yourself. Am I selling products? Am I doing the evaluation and showing the plan? Am I sponsoring? Are you expanding distribution? That all falls under sponsoring. And are you selling tickets? And you can't sell a ticket that you don't have. I don't know what's happened, but we've got to discipline yourselves back into this. You create a list of names. I'm going to tell you what, nobody I've seen in training has done a better names list and developing than you, Jim. You do a great job in helping people stimulate those 100 to 300 names.
You know, you and I were talking about it's vital because it's a starting point. And as JR talks about, we need the evaluations to come through those names. And you asked me, what do I do with, I said, well, if they have the names, then we start calling or texting. If they don't have the names, then we have to sit down and develop those names with them, right?
Great coaching point. So I hope everybody understands if you gave a homework assignment of 100 names and you come back and they don't have them, then you need to sit down and make sure it gets done.
And just like we were just talking about, we're going to schedule that call or text workshops because we want to teach that person how to say the right things. You know, it's so hard for someone to start. You don't want to just set them off on their own. If you're there with them, it makes such a difference. So schedule that. You know, this part of the Getting Started is really about scheduling 2-on-1s, 1-on-1s, product previews, wellness events. And, you know, Dennis and I talked about this. And because of what's happened with the last year, you know, we've all learned how to do things on Zoom, whether it be a product or wellness event, a home business presentation. So not only can we do it in the home when this opens up, but we can do it on Zoom even faster to be able to get moving. And then, of course, downloading Shop Buddy to make sure you take advantage of everything that we have with our shop.com. And then 2 major things, developing your answer to what is it, because it's the number one thing people get asked and they don't know how to answer, and then their why and their goal statement. So they really can define the reason they're going to put the effort into this.
And you hear our team members that'll come back. I didn't speak English or I didn't speak Mandarin, but now I speak Mandarin and Market America language, or I speak English and Market America language. Yep. And it's so true. You got to be confident in what you do. And so that's very important. And other things that we want to know is you want to break down your goals into daily tasks and activities. And ladies and gentlemen, this is where you sit down based on the commitment of time that people give you as to what they can do. Don't ask people to do more than what they've given you in the time per week. So if they give you 8 hours, it's maybe 1 or 2 calls a day. If they're giving you 10 to 15, you can go 3 calls a day, booking 1 appointment, adding 2 names. Or if they're giving you more than 15 hours, you can go to 10-3-2 that Elizabeth, that you heard earlier in her profile, that she just went down and got busy calling 10 people a day, booking 3 appointments and adding 2 possibilities. So again, it all depends on the person that you're working with. I also want you to know that you have to be able to show the plan. And that is at least twice a week. You heard JR, if you didn't hear Thursday night with Andrew Weissman and JR Reininger, it is worth the admission on its own. I mean, they were terrific. They were so good. It was a fireside chat of our plan with the insight of the founder and creator of this business. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to build a profitable and stable business, you must show the business. So you have to learn that. Follow-up is important. We've got great tools we'll be talking to you about tomorrow. You've got to listen and watch the audios and videos. And of course, our Market America products. Just a question. What's your best guess of products that you use daily in your household?
Well, I was trying to count it out this morning, what I was using. I would say we're probably 40 to 50, 30 to 40 to 50. Depends on the day, maybe, between Lisa and I.
Exactly. Based on Nancy and I, we're every bit between 40 and 50 a day. And, you know, whether you start in the bathroom and end up in the garage or in the car, but I got to put one thing out there. We've got a new glass and hard surface cleaner in the Shopping Ingenuity brand. It was amazing. Cleaning stainless steel with it. Oh, it was great. And people say, you do that? I say, yeah, that's my honey-do list, everybody.
You know, and then, Dennis, all that we've been talking about with this Getting Started guide really leads to Base 10 7 Strong, which, you know, I remember when I started the business, and I'd hear you and Kevin always talking about Base 10 7 Strong, and I didn't really always understand it right away. We've got it now in the Getting Started guide. Now it's what I live by in coaching and teaching. And let's explain to everybody a little bit about what that is.
Great. So let's dive into this because it's really important that you absorb what we're going to talk about right now. The first thing that I want to approach is you and coming into the business and establishing cash flow within your business. And you need the best way to build 10 repeat customers. I'm going to repeat that, not 10 customers, but 10 repeat customers that will normally take 15 to 25 customers to get 10 repeat, all right? Now, based on that, your expectations as an unfranchised owner is to produce at least 500 BV per month in production. And the best way that you can do it is your average purchase from your preferred customers should be around 40 business volume times 10. That's 400 plus at least 100 in your own personal use. Ladies and gentlemen, it's at least 500 or more. It's okay to have more. So that's what this represents. And remember this, every repeat customer will bring you more customers or become a business partner.
That's right. And you know, the reason we're so strong talking about that base 10 is there's a lot of us who use well over 500, right? If you raise your hand on the screen, if you probably use 500. And you know, so we use a lot, but the new person can't do that right away.
Right.
So by developing that customer base, they're developing that cash flow and they're developing that repeat. And you know, Dennis, you mentioned 40 BV. Well, in the US, something like Daily Essentials Kit packets are 40 BV, a 1 month supply. What a great thing to set a goal of. What if I had 10 repeat Daily Essentials Kits? That's 400 BV done every single month.
Right, 190 serving OPC or 1 bottle of TLS Core. I mean, there's so many, you know, you can go into the skincare, Pentaxel, a popular product.
Yes.
Again, these are things that you should be thinking about as business owners.
So what do we mean by 7 strong? I think everybody understands the base part of it, getting 10 customers. Well, the next part of it, the 7 strong, is having 7 unfranchised owners who also duplicate and have 10 preferred customers ordering monthly as well. Now, the goal is that you're one of those, and then 3 on the left and 3 on the right of your business who have duplicated. Now, it may be that you have to sponsor a few people. It may be that you bring in a star who does it all on their own and starts getting it going, and you're supporting while they're teaching and training and building. But either way, we eventually want to get to that point, because that means now we've got 1,500 BV coming up on each side of your business, 500 a person, think of it that way. So 500 a person coming up, 1,500 on each side, plus whatever you would be placing. So you're at that $300 a month of income coming in. And that makes a big difference for people when they know, because it's retail based, it'll keep coming.
So earning commissions faster is what we're talking about. This should be done in 4 to 6 months. So when you talk to people about coming into the business, this should be the short-term goal for them to do in 4 to 6 months. Create the urgency. Very, very important. So let's talk about the person that says, out of my way, I'm going to get 3 people, like an Arlene Lowy. She's just going to go out and sponsor 3 people into the business. So Arlene sponsors 3 people in the business. Let's see what happens. She's taking 3 people on, each building base 10-7 strong. Now look very carefully at that. What you have is you have 21 unfranchised owners at 500 business volume each, exceeding 10,000 BV. Does everybody see that? But the biggest thing I want you to see is the power leg. And this is what we know about the taproot. The taproot is if you build a power leg or a deep root system, it will incentivize the people to build weak, that makes your volume go faster. Now understand this. The other thing I love about this, Jim, is you can hold people accountable, and I know you're going to hit that later.
Kevin and I are going to hit that during the weekend.
So everybody take a look at it. Now, I just want you to know that. Take a look at it. Now, Jim, what do you got there? I'm sorry.
Let's stay on this one for a second. Good. So everybody, what Dennis is saying is there's 3 people that were personally sponsored. 1, 2, 3. They then sponsored somebody. They then developed their customers. They developed the inside leg because the power leg was growing. He's not saying do that to start your business. He's saying you may need to do that because your other one's going the way we're going to talk about now, right?
Correct.
Yep. Okay, so let's hit the next one. So what if you bring somebody in? You know, maybe you bring in a Trina White Maduro. I see you, Trina, over there with that sign. You bring somebody like that in, and they are out and they're sponsoring, they're developing people, they're developing those customers and developing really layers of base 10-7 strong. Now, if you do that, you have 4 UFOs who are working together in base 10-7 strong. That's 19 UFOs, that's 9,500 BV. And Dennis is showing you as he's clicking this, the first layer leading to the second. So they brought somebody else in. I haven't had to sponsor over on that side. Why? Because I got a star there who's duplicated, who's doing it. Now I'm supporting. I might be doing wellness events. I might be doing product shows with them. I might be doing Zoom HBPs, but they are running with it and doing it. And that's where we might go back and sponsor on that other side, right?
Absolutely. So think about this. We talk about building that foundation. We talked about it in building to bedrock. And when we start thinking about that, this is the bedrock. Repeat customers and other people earning commissions. What Jim has shown here is a go now. They personally sponsored 2, and because they kept themselves out there, got a 4th sponsored and taught them how to work as a team, as a unit. So instead of 21, as on the other, it only took 19 UFOs. But look at the volume.
No, I say, I want you, all the people out here now, as you've built a team, I want you to think, what if every teammate you had 10 customers? Oh. What if each teammate produced a minimum of 500 BV? And Dennis, this is what we've said forever. We have, JR developed a business that could be so successful for people with so many less people because we're based on volume being created.
Absolutely. And again, I want everybody to understand this does not even include the culture that we teach people to also use our shopping annuity brands, to shop local, to be able to shop on shop.com. That's basically right. The super IBV products. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just icing on the cake. But what we're trying to do is get your people to earn commissions faster.
That's right. And when you said culture, you said a key word, because I will tell you, For the leaders that are out there, you will create a culture of everybody believing that the first thing we do is we work to get those 10 customers. And when you create that culture, you can't stop the growth that's occurring, because people, as Dennis said right in the beginning of the presentation, customers come in and become some of our best unfranchised owners. Wouldn't you agree with that? Some of the best ones we've ever seen have come in through being a customer.
It's sort of the glue in the beginning. And in the beginning, when we started, even when you started, we had some good products, but the great products were the glue to keep them in over the hard times. If you just have somebody coming in for the plan, but don't have the products where they're selling, what's it going to do? Cost you money to keep recruiting if you're not selling product. So it is a combination. And that's the beauty. It's a symphony. It's music. It's rhythm. It's everything that you need to keep things going.
And this Base 10 7 Strong is going to lead into our part 2 of business building we're going to talk about tomorrow. One of the things we are going to discuss in our Getting Started Right program this weekend is now taking that and moving into becoming a master UFO. And we have some things we cannot wait to share with you.
We're excited. You heard about Mark being excited. We're really excited also. The other thing I want you to know, if you noticed on building out Base 10 7 Strong with 3 people on the left, 3 people on the right, it makes you a senior master. That can be done in 12 months from the time that you come in if you set your sights on 4 to 6 months to build out Base 10 7 Strong.
And a senior master is $3,000 in a month in earnings in a 4-week pay cycle. Yeah.
Any final comments?
No, enjoy the rest of the day. It's going to be great, and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
All right. Good seeing you. It's all right.